Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Corporate Vice President, Windows Phone, Program Management, Microsoft, Joe Belfiore.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Joe Belfiore. I run Program Management and Design for Windows Phone, and I'm excited to be here today with all of you. So this is a recent build of Mango, and the first thing I want to talk about is helping end users get to your apps better. So imagine I've got a bunch of apps installed on my phone. Of course, I can set up live tiles. But if I'm installing 30, 40, 50 apps, I'm going to be more likely to use the app list over here. And there are a few things that we're doing to make it easier for end users to get to your apps if the list is really long. We automatically detect a long list now, and you'll see here the letters present in the list, just like we have in contacts. We've implemented a jump list for apps, so if you want to get to Twitter, you touch A, you touch T, boom, there's Twitter, you can launch it. It's super fast and easy. I've been using this on my phone. It's surprising how addictive it is to jump over there, hit a letter, launch an app. You might notice right there, there's a little search button. I can now touch that and do text typing to search my giant list of installed apps. So let's say I want to launch my Amazon app. I can type AM, boom, it's filtered right away to Amazon, and I can launch the app. So it's a lot quicker and easier for users to find the stuff they're looking for. And even beyond that, we've tried to improve the way people look at apps before they buy them and the buying process. So here I've opened up Amazon Kindle, which is out there in the marketplace, and we've made this a little bit easier for people to navigate through. I can look at reviews in a full screen pivot. I can pivot again and see screenshots a little bit better and easier to navigate. And in the spirit of trying to help users find, discover, and install more apps, we're dedicating a whole pivot right there next to the details, giving rich information about related apps that you might want to get if you like this one. So we've really tried to make this process easier for the user, from the launching of apps, to searching for apps, to finding them on the marketplace and getting related apps suggested, to simplification in buying and installing. As many of you know, the Mango release this fall will include support for IE9. This is a website. I'm looking at IE9 on the phone. We've moved the address bar down here to the bottom so we can dedicate a huge amount of screen real estate to your content. The first website I'm showing is a sample HTML5 audio website. So imagine I've browsed on the web. I'm looking at an audio service. I can move over here and I'll touch the play button. And hopefully you can hear this. We have a little mic on stage. I'm now playing audio. I can press the skip forward and play different audio. All of this with standards-based HTML tags. If I press the start button and navigate out of the browser, just as we now will support background audio for native apps, we support background audio for HTML5 coming from the browser. Thank you. Glad you like that feature. I want to switch over to a real-world website. This is not a sample that we put together or built up or anything. This is boston.com, the website of the Boston Globe. And what the folks at boston.com are doing is using HTML5's video tag to have standards-based support for video on their website. And on our phones, that's great because it lets a user go straight to the Boston website. I'm going to navigate over here, press play on the video, and you see H.264 video, natively supported on the phone. It's quick to load. It streams very nicely. We'll get to actual quality here. You see the quality of the video looks great. We provide a full screen viewer with user controls right there for pause and resume. And if I go back, of course, I'll go right back to the website. Also, actually, while I'm here, it's worth mentioning, I've seen people posting on blogs with IE today on Windows Phone. Some people are disappointed that in landscape mode you don't get the address bar there on the bottom. Well, you can see here in IE9 on Mango we fixed that. Now I'm going to switch over to favorites, and I'm going to move this USB cable out of the way. So let me bring some friends on stage here alongside our Windows Phone. I've got an iPhone 4 and Nexus S and Windows Phone 7 running IE9. Remember, same IE9 core browsing engine with hardware acceleration onto the phone. So what we're going to do is we're going to load an HTML5 speed reading demo on all three of the phones. So let me try to get these ready, and I'm going to do my best to launch them basically simultaneously. In fact, I'm just going to give the iPhone a little head start here because I have only 2 fingers. So we'll start the HTML5 speed reading there, and now I'm going to start these two at the same time. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, go. And let's watch these browsers in action. Now, down at the bottom, what you'll see is a frame rate. And you can see the hardware acceleration gets the Windows Phone frame rate up to 23 here. Android is going at 11, and the iPhone's at 2. And you see the page is loaded. There we go. Windows Phone 7's browser is finished rendering the page. The Android phone is almost there, and the iPhone is a little ways behind. Thank you. Oh, yeah, sorry, I forgot. Before I go to the demos, a great example app that we've been excited to work with a partner on is Skype. If you think about Skype as a whole experience, it wants to have great networking support. It wants to be able to have access to the contact data on the phone. It wants to have a user experience that integrates and looks nice. And we've had a terrific working relationship with folks at Skype, and we're excited to see Skype come to the platform this fall when all these sorts of additional enhancements are available. First thing I'm going to do is show you a demo of a ringtone example. I mentioned that we're adding support to the platform for you and your services to take audio files and set them as ringtones. So I'm going to give you a quick example of that here. So here you can see I've run an app. It has a bunch of pivots for ringtones that you could imagine are out on a web service. There's one interesting example here that might be appropriate for my ringtone. Let's see if I can play the preview. Oops. Yes, that would be appropriate for me this week. So let's say I want to make that my Windows Phone ringtone. I can just touch. The file is downloaded from the web service, and now the ringtone API is used where I can specify I want this to be set as my ringtone or simply add it to my ringtone list. Voila, it's done. It's now a ringtone, and we hope this is something that all of you will embrace and go do lots of cool stuff with.